of days is our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is a match, and just we fight for freedom and justice. Rise, freedom of next. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. Rise, freedom of next. United we stand, divided we fall. In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is a lesson, just we fight for freedom and justice. Rise, freedom of next. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. In the dark of night, our freedom is a lesson, just we fight for freedom and justice.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Prime Minister Austin Elsler of the Queen of the Nix, here to discuss to you today about our very late but good progress report. So, what are we going to talk about today? First of all, I got a new mic, so hopefully y'all can hear me a lot better than on the normal laptop mic. So, anyway, so what we got to talk about? So progress report. So I've been a little late on it. I think I've already announced this too, that we just decided to take an extended fall break of the government, especially with the birthdays, holidays, and colder weather coming in as well. Especially the weather. So with that said, and so I've written down what we basically done in between those times, right? Some of the next stuff that we did do in those times, right? That I can say we did, in case you didn't know. So I'm looking down on my notes here. It basically is the gist of what we've done so far, or where we're in the progress of doing now, as of March of 2026. So, constable patrols. Me and the chief constable, Robert, we talked, and we decided what our routes are going to be. Yep, we finally established a routing. One of our new nobles, Duke Kurt Fuse, he is Duke now, and that's just the noble title he chose. And for people that don't know, regardless of what noble title you have, you are equal status as a noble. As in, for example, there's Countess McGuire, our first noble, and Duke Kurt, our second noble. They are equal status. The only difference is their title names. That's it. There's no Duke is higher than a Countess, or Countess is lower than a Duke. So there's no such thing as that here. So, because we don't do that. So that's just the titles they chose. We gave it to them, and there we go. So we got Duke Kurt Fuse and Countess Brianna McGuire. So, he is Dirk Kurt Fuse of Eros Province, because he owns land in Eros Province, Nix, and Brianna McGuire is the Countess in Nix, because she does not own land, but is part of the Queendom. So, anywho, back to constable patrols. So the Duke, also still a constable, mind you, has decided to go ahead and patrol his own land, of course, because why not? That makes it entirely easier. So, Duke Kurt is going to set up his own patrol routes in Eros Province, which turns out to be a lot bigger than the 2,000-acre farmland that we recently discovered. So he's got a lot of more land to patrol, actually, which is quite interesting. And I think he said he could do it on horseback as well. So there we go. We have a constable on patrol with a horseback. Let's see. Chief Robert and 2 other constables based here in the province of Aries. They will be doing patrols on streets with street names where Nixians reside. So they won't necessarily go to the house of a Nixian. They will go to the street of a Nixian, but to protect the privacy of Nixian citizens that has not volunteered to give their address away to the Constable's Bureau, so to speak, as of yet. They will patrol just the street, but the constables will have no idea which house is the Nixian house, unless they already knew where they live in the first place, because we do happen to all know each other. So if they happen to know what house it is, good for them. That helps it out. There's no problems there. If they don't, it's okay. We're all friends and family here, so we'll try our best to trust each other and trust each other's protecting our privacy and rights, of course. So, yeah. So as of right now, there are no constables in Hades, and there's no constables in Poseidon. And I'll just go ahead and say this now. If I read this correctly, it's been verified that we do not have land in Europe. Something fell through with the Nixian citizens family. So I won't get into all that details. That's just what I was told. So we still have land in the Philippines as far as I'm aware. So we still have land in the Philippines. So the province of Poseidon remains in the Philippines. So the province of Poseidon also has no constables. But as the only land there, it is run by one of our local Catholic institutions that the Nixian citizen has founded over there, and we allowed it to establish itself as a local Nixian institution, so which is perfectly fine. I actually have my own Nixian institutions. One's a school, the other one is a Christian denomination, but I won't get into all that because that's not part of the progress report. So let's see. Yeah, that's all about the constable patrols. So the second one is the establishment of the province of Hades. I think I've already made a video of establishing the province of Hades, but I'll go ahead and remind y'all about it. Province of Hades is basically the 54 acres of land that is now split from the province of Ares. So now the province of Ares is even with the newly acquired land, it is less than an acre. So that's how much land the province of Ares has right now. Since the 54 acres from the province that is now the province of Hades has been decreed to break away from Ares to manage the distancing issues, as well as weather broadcasts and all that, all that stuff, right? I mean, because we've already made a distance policy where if there's already an established province, but there's another location that's further away and there's no land connection between the two, as in we don't have any claims between the two, it will be considered a separate province that is not contiguous. So instead of having a province that is not contiguous, we decided to separate them as two provinces. So the original and first is province of Ares, and then the split off one and our newest one is the province of Hades. And yes, Ares is in our own Nixian mythology tree, as well as Eros, and as well as Hades, and as well as Poseidon. And the Nyx mythology tree is still being worked on because Greek mythology is very complicated, even when you're trying to add the existing Greek gods into your own Nyx mythology tree, right? Where it'll look confusing at first, but you'll understand what we're talking about. Basically, the Nyx mythology tree, that's for specifically theme, culture, art, all that stuff, right? Not religion. Okay, not worshiping, not making temples, all that stuff. No. Statues, maybe. Good decorations, but it ain't going to be it's not a worshiping thing. No. We're not making idols. So, and the Queen has made that very clear of that. So, and so have I, because that wasn't the goal. We are a Greek steampunk nation, so, but just because we're Greek doesn't mean we're going to go for worshiping Greek gods. So, no offense to those that do, but that's not our thing, and that's not our goal. However, if you're one of those people and want to become the Queen of the Nyx and do worship those gods, be our guest. But that was not our intent. So just letting you know that now. Greek theater plays. I did mention this before in the video as well. The Queen has definitely approved of it. However, we haven't gotten around to making one yet. Like I said, the weather holidays, birthdays, all that stuff. Um, and, it's now March of 2026. And we just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. It's still the third month of the year already. And, yeah, we just haven't gotten around to it yet. So it'll either happen in the spring or the summer. And we still haven't found a location to do said place. So we don't know. So, but it is still on the table. It is still on the table, as well as the art competition that we started a while ago for anybody that wants to participate to actually draw with hands, or you can use Microsoft Paint. That counts. No AI counting. Okay, AI does not count. We do not include AI. Not that we hate AI. I use AI all the time to help me out with stuff, right? Okay, but I have my own reasons why I use AI. I have mental reasons why I use AI to help me out with stuff. Okay, so but no, when it comes to the art competition, AI is off limits. It has to be actual hand drawing, painting, marking, penciling, all that stuff, right? Um, or you could do it on Microsoft Paint. You could do your own computer paint, right? If you're used to doing the laptops and touchscreens, you can draw the painting on the touchscreens and whatever god you want to draw. Like as in you want to give them a body, a figure, right? Or draw what their personification is. Like if you're drawing the night sky, it's Nyx. If you're drawing a battlefield, it's Ares or Pallas, um, or Nike. If you're drawing the underworld, there's Hades, there's Styx, there's Charon, there's Thanatos, the Kyries, all them, right? So, but anyways, so yeah, so that's the kind of art competition we basically started. We have some people that were willing to join in on that, but like I said, a lot of life happens. Not a lot of people get time to do those things, so it's okay. It's a friendly art competition, and I basically said, whoever draws good, their stuff gets put on the website. That's the reward. So, but maybe it could be something bigger in the future. We don't know. Um, but at the moment, no Greek theater plays have been planned, but we are still hoping and we are still looking into it. So, the next one, the Micro International Ice Hockey Federation. I made a speech about it on Facebook. So basically, what I did was I proposed to the founders of the Micro International Ice Hockey Federation, which is the Jewish Bolshevik Republic of Scheikel and the Pennsylvania Federation, the two founders of that organization. It's a friendly virtual sports organization, so we're not, we're not like, what's the word? There's no politics in it, right? So there's no politics in it, so it's not taking up our time. They let us know if our team is winning or losing, so I actually have no problem with that organization. We've been in that organization for a long time, and we've known the two for a long time as well, as they are Commonwealth members of the Nixian Commonwealth. So, but I have proposed to them to help us become more real, in my perspective, I guess, right? So, for us to become more real, or considered real, right? I proposed to the two members, of simply just renaming the organization into, instead of Micro International, to simply International. Remove the word micro, okay? To get rid of the micronation aspect of the name of the organization. Why? Because the reason why is simply basically because I want the Nixian Commonwealth to also gradually move away from the micronational community as a whole. Because as of today, it's still a toxic community. There's some good people in there. I'm not hating on everybody. There's definitely toxic people in there, absolutely, and there's good people in there too. That some of them are even contacting us now because they decided to become our fans, I guess, which I have no problem with. But when it comes to micronations, like, we want to recognize you. It's like, slow down. Let's talk about this for a second. I'm willing to chat. But there's stuff I gotta know first about that. So, without further ado on that one, yeah. So, but it fell through. I don't know how it worked. I don't know if it was run by the Parliament of Scheikel or it was run by members of the Federation. I don't necessarily remember, but the legislative body that runs the organization has voted to not change it, which is fine. Not mad about it. I made a speech about it. It's on the Facebook group page. If you're in it, look it up. If not, join in. We actually welcome supporters and citizens, preferably. So if you want to join the Cleveland Knicks Facebook page, you gotta do something. So, even talking, but not talking nonstop, as in no spamming. We're talking about actually, if you're joining in, don't just talk. Talk about something that Knicks could do, or talk about something that you could do for Knicks, right? We're looking for committing people that are committed, right? So, but you can message us. You can message our people, or me, or the Queen anytime you want. So, and we'll try our best to respond, and you can even comment down below, and we'll respond to that as well. I do get notifications that people message me. I just suck at listening to my own notifications to see if you did or not. So, but I will eventually get there, and I will definitely reply. So, other than that, it fell through, but I'm not mad at them, and it's their organization, right? I will try again. And I'm trying to. They're very difficult to have communications with when they're distracted by the world. So, I'm trying to try to get a hold of them by simply, which is going to be part of the next thing on the list, the Nixian Commonwealth meeting. I'm trying to get a hold of everybody in the Nixian Commonwealth, including observer members, to actually join us in the meetings, whether it be virtual or it's going to be physical. So I prefer physical because I'm sick of looking behind a screen every day, but if it has to be virtual, I will suck it up and be fine. But, and that's what me and the Emperor of Iscaria has talked about as well. He is a full member as well. And, yeah, so, and we have a new Nixian Commonwealth member, the Republic of Casmira. I think he's deciding somewhere between Tier 1 and Tier 2. So, I don't remember which tier he has chosen. Honestly, I'll have to look this up again. But we welcome him. And the president is a dual citizenship. They have signed a dual citizenship treaty with the Cleveland Knicks. Therefore, the president has become a citizen of both nations. However, we do have a policy to, if you are a government official of another nation, you cannot be in a government position in Knicks. So, that is the policy on that. Let's see. So there's that. So that was the Nixian Commonwealth part. We're planning this year in 2026 to set up the Nixian Commonwealth meeting eventually and hopefully, because I really do believe the Nixian Commonwealth, out of everything, will actually be beneficial to the Queen of the Knicks as well as the members that are in it. If not some of the nations of the world. So we will see. We don't plan on being big and fancy or superheroes, but we do plan on doing something that makes us look like we're actually serious, and we are. So, especially when we got to do, friendly talks and research amongst ourselves, because I actually don't know much about the two Jewish, the Scheikel and Pennsylvania Federation, as far as history goes, of being former members of the old organization that I used to have called the Multinational Association of the Americas. So, yeah, that's it on that part. Next one, yeah, so what did we do over fall and winter break? We celebrated the birthdays of the Queen. We celebrated the birthdays of the three princes. The oldest prince, I was going to consider saying their names, but I'm not going to in this video, because even though I got them written here, I'm not going to say them in this video. That's nothing to do with privacy. It's just the Queen has asked me nicely to not give away their names as of yet. So that is of the Queen's discretion. However, you'll be able to see their kids in some way, shape, or form anyway in the future. They might appear on some of the videos in the Cleveland Knicks when we do our meetings, or they might help us out with the 10 acres of land in Hades province that I will talk about. So, you might see them, you might not, we'll see. Yeah, the oldest one is 9 now, the middle child is 7, and the youngest prince is 5. So, yay! Congratulations to them all. And as of the queen, I'll just simply say is 21 again. I'll just say that she is not getting older. I'll just say she's 21 again. Okay, we're gonna keep it as such. She is not getting older. So, it's a joke, by the way. Let's see what else. Oh, okay, that's it. That's it on the progress reports of all of 2025. Perfect. Okay, so that's basically all we done. And we celebrated Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, all that good stuff, right? We all had fun. We all had a blast, right? Now, what are the goals of 2026? I'm going to get that out of the way now. So, what are the goals of 2026, Austin? Glad you asked, viewer. So, we're going to utilize the 10 acres of land in Hades province with raised metal beds and greenhouses, growing a variety of things. So basically, I was using my budgeting app to put money aside towards farming materials, somewhere around $250 US, towards the farming materials to build such things. I think I'm only getting one, so I could test it out. So one bag of dirt, one metal raised bed, yeah, and one greenhouse lid. It's like a greenhouse cover. I don't know I forgot what material it's made out of, but it's a greenhouse cover that you could put over the metal bed. So, and I actually like that. I actually like that better because it's not a big greenhouse as much as I would love big greenhouses, but it's not a big greenhouse. We're buying a greenhouse for each bed, and that will also give it extra protection from the outside. Extra protection from the outside while it's getting humidity. Now I understand that some crops or plants might struggle with too much humidity, and that's okay. It's basically a test run, but I also have Nixian volunteers that will come up with me to Hades province to not only help with the giant garden we plan on putting up there, but to help me figure out how big is the 10 acres. So they're gonna help us. They're gonna help me out with that. And now some of you might wonder, oh, hold on, Austin, you have 10 acres of land. Why don't you just build a village? It's technically not my land. So it's part of the Hades province. Hades province is 100% private property. So and the 10 acres is essentially a leased property from private property owner to government. See what I mean? So the government, Nixian government, is leasing off of the Nixian's private property. So technically, now, are we paying anything for it? No. But they gave us permission to use it. It is my parents' land. So, but I wanted to make it formal with them, and I'm telling them that, they can help too. We could do it as visits, all that good stuff, right? And we'll help their farm too, because they're the ones with chickens and their own gardens as well. So we will help their farm out as well as helping the 10 acres out. So that's what I'm hoping to establish up there in the province of Hades. So, but yeah, so that's our goal for that in the province of Hades. If you're wondering what kind of crops we're growing, currently in the province of Arrows, we're growing wheat, barley, oats, canola. I think that's it. That's in the province of Arrows. That's the 2,000 acre farmland. Yeah. So they're growing that. They're perfectly fine up there. And we're actually in discussion today and probably tomorrow, if not this entire week. We're going to be talking about how can the province of Arrows bring their goods down here to the other provinces. So we are gonna talk about discussing that and trying to figure that out. And the other goal also is to give myself a passport. I know I'm a little behind. I'm gonna give myself a passport, and that way I can actually go and visit the province of Arrows, and of course visit Canada for the very first time. But I'm actually not a big fan of visiting other big countries. right? So, to be honestly frank, like, I do want to visit Portugal, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, but those are the only two countries I actually care about. Don't ask why. I've had a fascination about them as a kid for some reason. Portugal and DRC. Probably because of their history, their flag. It honestly could be anything. The people even. So I honestly don't remember why I like them so much, but I am still interested in in like looking into them and see how their elections are doing, the people are doing. Nah, usually not that good, but some good does come out of it, some does not. So for some reason, I pay attention to to those two nations more than any other nation, right? So, but other than that, yeah. So, but no, I'm sure Canada's a good place. Just not a fan of exploring everywhere in Canada. Unless they're a citizen, unless they're Nixian citizens that have actual land up there, then I will definitely visit Canada in that fashion. So, but other than that, yeah, I'll get a passport so I can actually go visit our own province of Eros, and meet the Duke. He does not govern the province of Eros, but he's unofficially governing the province of Eros because he's the only citizen up there in province of Eros, right? So, and he owns his property, so he unofficially runs the province, right? Just not officially. So, it's like a citizen rule. There we go. It's like a citizen rule, but not an official noble rule. Does that make sense? So, let's see. What else? I think that's it on that one. Okay, so what's another goal? Having real royal court sessions at the Dark Castle. The palace comes in many names. It can be called the Palace, the Dark Palace, the Night Palace, the Night Castle, Dark Castle. We just call it anything that associates with Nyx or Erebus, right? Because, in the mythology, if you're the top monarch, you associate yourself with, the darkest, family members. Not negative, just darkest, as in night and darkness, right? Not the negative ones, but you associate yourself with the darkest entities of Nyx, children, Erebus, Nyx, their children, children's children, right? As we call the Night Clan or the Night Titans, right? Something like that sort. A little bit of mythology, but it's not, yeah, association through theme and culture than actual lineage, right? So, but yeah, so the queen, me, the queen, and a Themis Corps minister that's also our founder, one of our other founders. We were having a talk about it. And with other Nixian citizens too. Actually, this was a royal court meeting virtually. Yeah, the royal court. We all talked about it. We all talked about where to actually have meetings, and we decided it's going to be here at the Dark Castle. So hopefully we'll actually schedule those, and it will only be for the royal court members. It won't be for every citizen of Nyx, unfortunately, because not everybody can make it. But if we can get at least most of the royal court members to come to the meetings, whether both physically or virtually, or all physically, or hopefully not all virtually, preferably, but if it comes to that, then we'll have it like that. So, but we're hoping to have it here. So, so we'll have it ready and set up and everything. The Nyx flag will actually get to be shown more. We might even record it. I don't know. Might record it and put it on in our Patreon. So our Patreon could be a little bit more, active, I guess. But if y'all got any more suggestions you can give us to what to put on our Patreon, because honestly, I'm lost on that one. So, because I'm a little behind on how to do things. So, y'all have any suggestions, let me know. What else? Yep, gathering Nixie citizens to volunteer and help in the farm in Hades. I said that already. Yes, utilizing the land and resources produced in Eros province. Yep, I already said that. And yes, I'm going to say this now. We are finishing and concluding with the triarchy debate that we had last year. I think that started last year, somewhere in October. I think I have a video on it. So find that video, and you'll be aware of the national debate that we were having. The national debate is officially over. It took a little longer than expected because not that we were like not prioritizing the topic, but it wasn't technically a priority topic either. It was more like, should we do this? Should we not? Right? So we want to get people's opinion on it. Like I said in that video, we have opposition and we have people that are for it. Well, then our third founder heard about it, came on, and so after that, the debate had been finished and concluded, and without saying any more words, there will be an announcement tomorrow whether the debate whether the debate or no, whether the triarchy will be a thing or we will remain a monarchy. So once that announcement is made, I can't tell you any more than that. But once the announcement is made, I will make future videos to explain to y'all what happened in the conclusion. So remember, everything is decided by the Queen. So if it's a no, it's a no. If it's a yes, it's a yes, and I'll explain why. But I can't tell you. So all I know is that the triarchy debate is concluded. And there will be an announcement on the conclusion about it tomorrow, whether she decides, yes or no, should we become a triarchy, which is Greek-inspired. It's a Greek-inspired form of government. There's no changes at all. I'm going to go ahead and explain this a little bit now, what this triarchy means, in case you all don't know. So when we're researching Greek city-states to try to find a culture to adopt for the Queen of Nyx, we looked into Sparta, of course. Out of all of them, we looked into Sparta. Sparta is ruled by two kings, which is called a diarchy. Monarchy, mono, one. Diarchy, di, two. So, there's three founders. We were thinking, why not a triarchy? Right? So that's why the debate was brought up. Because it was Greek-inspired, and we're a Greek steampunk-inspired nation, right? And we honestly didn't know about Sparta being ruled by two kings. This was new information for us. We actually didn't know that. Like, I watched the movie 300. I've researched Sparta before, and I probably heard of the diarchy, but it slipped my head, right? It just, right? So, and then I researched Sparta again. And then we looked into it together, and then we noticed the diarchy, and then then we thought about 300. It's like, oh, so Leonidas was just one of the two kings. And we discovered that one king was to be the one to go to war, to be the commander-in-chief, while the other one remains in Sparta to govern it and defend it. So I was like, oh, okay. So, and not a lot of Greek city-states were monarchies. Or kingdoms, I should say, right? And even with the diarchy right there, right? The name of Sparta didn't change. It remained Kingdom of Sparta, right? So if the triarchy does pass, basically, if the triarchy passes, what it will do basically is to make the three founders, including myself, monarchs. We will be a triarchs, right? Because Sparta's kings are diarchs. So we will be triarchs. Okay, but you're not going to call me Triarch Austin. It will probably be King Austin to make it simple, right? It'll be King Austin. It'll be Queen Chelsea. And then it'll be Queen Breckenridge, right? That's if she decides the triarchy is, what's the word? Doable? Yeah, doable. If the triarchy is doable or not. So, I don't know what her conclusion will be. I just know the announcement is tomorrow. That's all I know. So, yeah. So, we will see. We will see where the debate will take us. But other than that, that's basically what triarchy is. There's not really been change. We will have equal power. I'll be a co-king. Queen Breckenridge will probably be the head monarch of the three, right? To keep it, Queen Breckenridge is the head, but we're the co-monarchs, and we could probably rotate around a little bit in case one of us is unavailable to do something or something, right? Gives a little fairness, just a little bit, not like a lot or something. Fairness is not bad thing, but not necessarily a good thing either in certain cases, right? We'll have equal powers, but obviously, once the announcement is made, I'll start working on the laws and stuff. We're looking into obviously doing that if it decides to pass, right? So, figuring out how royal decrees will work. What about the other positions? What about the prime minister position and all that stuff, right? So, I'll let you know tomorrow. Because obviously, I am the guy of videos. So, I'm the Queen of Nick's video person. And so is Nick's Delta Broadcast, of course. Which I will definitely let them know about that, too. So that way she could post it on Nick's Delta Broadcast. So, and that will be Countess McGuire, by the way. Check out Nick's Delta Broadcast. Help them out. Yeah, so that's the triarchy. So, in case you didn't know, you were given a history lesson, and if the triarchy passes, you'll know what the gist of it will basically be, right? So, but I only know that it's concluded. But ultimately, I do know, even though I probably just said that I don't know what the conclusion is, I lied. I'll go ahead and be honest. I do know what the answer is, but I can't tell you. So, it's a yes or no. So, you'll just have to find out in the next video whether it's a yes or no. And we will be good either way. If it's a monarchy, it's a monarchy. If it's a triarchy, it's a triarchy. So, we will adjust to changing conditions if need be. But, if she could change her mind on the decision tomorrow. So, we don't know. So, now that part's not a lie. I actually don't know if she'll change her mind or not. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, anyway, stay tuned for tomorrow. Because I don't know what will happen tomorrow. So. But she's also given me a schedule, by the way. I should announce this too. She gave me a schedule, so I'll only be doing Nick's work is to help me out too. So she's not like restricting me or anything. Yeah, she basically scheduled me to only work on doing Nick's work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Give myself some off days, and treat the weekend as a weekend, right? So, which is fine. I didn't fight against it. So, and so there you go. There's my schedule. And I'll try my best to make videos on those days as well, if not anything else. The website's updated. The website's done. Yep, I'm gonna say it now. The website is done. Done. Finally. It's 99% done. I'll say that. So, the only thing I gotta do on it is setting up a marketplace? Something like that. Like, because we're having our own marketplace too to sell goods and stuff, right? That people can go on our website and buy stuff, right? But other than that, I think that's it. Yeah. Well, okay, and then there's the institutions, but they're not the priority, right? The institutions that you might find in the Queen of Nix, they're not a priority because, they could make their own website if they want to, or if they don't, then we'll give them a page, right? So, but other than that, that's really it. We just have, three institutions. If you count the political parties, that'd be 5, but institutions are 3. 2 of them are technically churches, right? And one is a language school, for the language that I created. That was not specifically for Nix, but I wanted to show people about it in Nix, and the Nixians are like, we should adopt it, and I'm like, should we? And it's like, yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like, Queen's like, yeah, let's do that. Okay, it was not my intent to make it part of the Queen of Nix, but here we are. So English will still be the dominant official language, but Maloney, which is the language I'm creating, will eventually, gradually be the second language. So it was not the intent, but that is how that happened. So what else? Yep, try to beat question is done, and we'll see tomorrow what happens. Yes, okay, here we go, another one. So I went a little long on that one, I apologize. So, adopting silver and gold as medium exchange alongside our aluminum, bronze, Nixian drachma coins. So for people that don't know, we plan to make the Nixian drachma. Drachma is obviously the old ancient currency used by the Greeks, so it's Greek inspired. They're going to be made out of aluminum bronze, which is an alloy of aluminum and copper. And, well, the drachma is backed by silver. So 1 coin equals 1 gram of silver, right? And obviously 1 gram of gold, you're going to need a lot more coins than that, right? So silver is the most preferred medium exchange in the Queen of Nix. And we actually recently just adopted a new policy for our currency. So now it's official that the silver bars, or silver of any kind, by weight, silver by weight, is the medium of exchange in the Queen of Nix, alongside our aluminum, bronze, drachma coins. So, because the drachma coins, yes, it is a representative currency. Not everybody likes it, we understand. But we believe it gives off a cultural vibe that we wanted, right? And I believe that as long as we use silver and gold along with it, it will be okay. Even if it's not used all the time, it will be used. Okay, I actually don't mind it if it'll end up never being used at all. That's fine. But there will be something with it that the people can use, so they won't, see the drachma as just a stamped aluminum bronze coin. Which, by the way, we do have a size for it. It's going to be the size of 2 quarters. And I think I have quarters right here to hopefully give you an idea. So, quarter number 1, quarter number 2. Because I have a mold, and I tested this mold, and that will be the mold we will use for the coins. And then, voila. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. That is 2 quarters together. That is how big a drachma coin will be. So, that is how big a drachma coin would be. Approximately about 2 quarter size. So, and our goal is to only produce 300. Why? Because we only have 300 grams of silver. As this is backed by silver, we can only make as much as how much silver by grams that we have. So, approximately, by the count that I counted, by using calculators to figure that out too, then I also have a weight scale over there as well. It's a big one for metals and stuff, right? So, it should give me an accurate weight. 10 ounces is like somewhere approximately 283 grams. So, going off that logic, I bought 17 1-gram bars, and then putting 2 and 2 together, that makes 300 grams of silver with a 1 10-ounce bar and 17 1-gram bars, right? So, that's how I came up with the math logic. If I'm wrong, correct me. If I'm right, awesome. If I could do something better with the calculation, then tell me. But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, in case y'all haven't seen my silver, so y'all can know it's real and everything. Silver, 9 ounce. Yep, fine mint silver. Yep, and then let me show you. Oops. Let me show you the 1 grams that are still in their plastics, which I'll probably keep that way, honestly. And I was actually very surprised this is 1 gram, because it is very tiny, but it's legit. It's legit, but that's 1 gram. Yep. Here, let me get it further back, and you can see the big difference, right? Yeah, that's how. There you go, right on my cheek. Yeah. That's 1 gram. So that is a 1 gram silver bar. So 1 coin is backed by 1 silver bar. So, or 1 gram silver bar, yeah. But it's okay if you don't have aluminum drachma coins, because once they get into circulation, if you happen to not have them, if you have silver, perfect, you'll be fine. And silver is better anyway. Okay, silver is a great investment. So is gold. If you have gold, even better, better. But if not, it's okay. Get silver. You don't have to get big ounces of silver like the bar I have. Okay, you can get 1 ounce or the lowest you want. The lowest you want, and just get numerous of them. See, get numerous of silver. Even if they're lower amounts, get numerous of them. It will help. That will help out the part, right? So, if it's easier to get 1 gram silver bars than it is to get drachma coins, do so. Or if you just happen to have a big silver bar or something, right? Depending on the weight, you can redeem it for drachma coins, or other way around. If you have a bunch of drachma coins, you can get silver bars from it. That is in our stock. That is how it works. If I'm wrong, correct me. But as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure I'm right. But I could be wrong. It's okay. I'm happy to be wrong. It's not like I'm going off a script. I'm going by what I'm actually saying in my head, too. All I did was write down what the gist of what I'm talking about today. So, this is the progress report and what our goals is of 2026. So, and I'll go ahead and say I apologize for lying a little bit, but I don't want to give it away because it was a big debate, and I want the answer to be a surprise, right? That's why I said she's going to announce it tomorrow on probably Facebook and the chat rooms, all that stuff. Well, I'll be the one to announce it on video, okay, whether it's a yes or no. So, I do know the answer. I was told the answer, but I'm not allowed to give that answer, okay? So, saying that now. So I apologize for a little bit of a lie, but I can't tell you the answer. Whatever the answer is, we will go with the flow. So, yes, the next thing on the list, I was looking for it. The next thing on the list is establishing our first mailing list. I've heard of people using mailing lists, including Stamaria having a mailing list. I tried looking one up before, and I think all I did was bookmark it, and I never touched it again. So obviously I need to look for it again, and try to actually make a mailing list. That way, I will be able to send out email messages from the Nick's government email. That way people will be up to date on the news and such. Updates on the nation, the government, and the land, right? The garden. Breaking news at the garden. Breaking news at the Dark Castle. Breaking news, we have land, or something like that, right? So, all that stuff. And I want people to know about it and everything. So, that is the goal of this year, is to get a mailing list. So hopefully we'll reach that goal. It shouldn't be too hard, but I'm a busy man. So, I also work 5 days a week. Really only off on the weekends. Don't get off till 4 o'clock every day. So, do that math. What else? Yes, I've already said the marketplace. That is another thing we're planning on establishing this year. Trading with our trade partners. Yes, so hopefully with the establishment of the silver as the official medium of exchange alongside our drachma, because it was just as a backing for drachma, right? But now we made it official that gold and silver are official medium exchanges alongside the drachma. So if you don't prefer to use the drachma to buy our goods, you can use silver. Perfectly fine. So with that said, right, because Stamaria trades with silver, so and we want to make that better for the exchange and whatever. So if they're not interested in getting drachma coins, which is understandable, so we'll use silver then. So we'll just use straight up silver, and I think that will make it better for the both of us in terms of trade. We have yet to discuss anything of trade yet. I believe they say something about planning on talking about that. But so far we're not ready to trade with anything. To add a little transparency, we still have the aluminum bar that we were supposed to give to one of the micronations that we know. That they exchanged for $100. Yeah, hear me out. So $100 for one aluminum bar, Austin. Hear me out. The $100 was meant to be immediately spent on the spot, which it was on that day, because that $100 was to buy $100 worth of soda. So I was trying to buy it not to enjoy it, but to. Yeah, it's a little weird, but hear me out, because that was the gist. And the king told me not to do that. Just get the ones that we'll end up enjoying. They're going to be gone by the day, and then, because, kids and us, right, they're going to be gone by the day, and then when they're all done, we save the cans and we go melt them. It's like, alright. So, but my original plan is to get sodas we don't like, therefore we don't drink them, and we'll just, it's like this, we bought them, they are ours, we can do whatever we want with them. So, some people might see that as a waste. I see it as get rid of stuff I don't like and then take what I do like from that and then make it into something better that we like, right? So, that was the original plan. But the king said otherwise. So, even though he's the king consort, he's still the king. So, and he's also the owner of the house I live in currently. So, of course I'm not going to fight him on that. And it was not a bad idea either, so. Yeah, so I know $100 worth of soda cans, right? For one aluminum bar. So Austin, why didn't you give him the aluminum bar yet? I'll tell you why. This micronation, this person, President Begley of the Begley Commonwealth, well, at the moment, we haven't heard from him in a very long time. I don't know if we should be concerned or, fearful that we don't know if he's lost his Facebook account again. He's been having that kind of issue, or he's actually ditching us, not because of the trade, but because of his own doing, right? Because we try to communicate with them every single day, especially about the aluminum bar. They don't live that far from us at all. They're based in Ohio, but they had land in Kentucky, and we thought about going to their Kentucky area, right, to give them their aluminum bar so we can give it to them. We want to give them the aluminum bar, but things keep happening in our end. We can't make it to give them the aluminum bar, and then we discovered that they lost their Kentucky land over family reasons, and so their only location is in Ohio. It's like, okay, fine, then we need your address for Ohio so we can get there and stuff, right? But they never got back with us. Like, there was like barely any communication at all. So, and I'm texting the guy, calling the guy, I'm trying to give him this one simple aluminum bar, the nicest aluminum bar that we have in our stock. Okay, we have like over 50 of them, right? And it's for the aluminum bronze medal, okay? So, and, so we're trying to give it to him because we want to give it to him. We want to fulfill our very late end of the trade, right? So, because that was the trade agreement. So, soda cans, if not soda cans, then it's money for soda cans for aluminum bars. That was the trade, okay? So, that we're, and we actually told him this, by the way. We actually told him this. If we don't give you an aluminum bar, do not give us any more soda cans or money until we give you that aluminum bar. We told him that. We told him that because we want to fulfill our end. Because we knew we were going to be delayed. We knew. We knew it was going to happen. And we tried our best to schedule it, and things keep happening. Even on Begley's end. Begley's end keeps having issues as well. and it's causing a lack of communication between us, and we can't get a hold of him. So, and we feel bad. We honestly do feel bad. And the Queen is very upset about it, because the Queen is getting a little irritated now at his lack of communication. Because, not just because of the aluminum bar part, that's been very late. I mean, like I said, we told him, don't give us any more stuff until we give you the aluminum bar. That way, both our ends are met. Right? So, because we're not like that. We're not going to cheat them or anything, okay? We want to fulfill our end of the bargain by giving that simple aluminum bar. He said it doesn't matter if it's stamped or not. We'll take the aluminum bar and we'll stamp it for, and they said they'll stamp it for us to make it an official Nick's aluminum bar. That way they'll know it came from Nick's, and they were happy to do that. And I'm like, okay, oh cool, perfect, great, okay. So we're trying to give him the aluminum bar, but due to lack of communication, we don't know what's happening. I still got his number. I can call him anytime, but even his phone is weird. It's like he doesn't have a normal phone. I don't know what it is. So the Queen said she was gonna look into it. I still haven't heard from him in a while. He's active on social media, but I haven't seen, like, he hasn't responded. I commented on him or on his post, and I actually haven't seen him ever since that day, actually. So I hope everything's okay with him, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So all I can say is I hope he's okay, and, if we did something wrong to him, I mean, obviously he's aware of the aluminum bar deal, right? He's aware of it, and we've been telling him that we're trying to give him this aluminum bar for a while. We've been struggling, right? I know it's sad, but I mean, our logistics suck. I'm being transparent here. Our logistics suck, but nowadays we're actually very logistical now. We're more logistical than before. So if I have to make a trip somewhere, I'll make a trip somewhere, right? So we're a lot more logistical than before. So, and we're trying to fulfill our end of the bargain, but I don't know. Don't know where he is. Don't know what he's doing. So I just know his nation is still in Ohio. That's all I know. Now I know what county it's in. I approximately know what city it's in, but I don't know. I don't remember exactly where he's at, because I don't want to accidentally get the wrong house. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm trying to get him to help me out and tell me. That way I can give him his aluminum bar, and then we can discuss more things later. Okay, we can even cancel the trade deal and say it was a bad deal, and we'll make another one. So we're trying to help each other out with that. But we'll see what happens. But other than that, yeah. So hopefully that will not give us a bad reputation. We are trying our best as a nation to fulfill our end of the bargain. So, but I mean, if that gives us a bad reputation, so be it. But I'm being transparent. I'm telling you in all honest truth that we are trying our best to help this guy out. So, I know some of you might say that $100 is a little extreme, but that was in the trade agreement. He said soda cans or money for it, and he gave us money for it. So that was in the trade agreement. I didn't put the money part in there. He did. So he put the money part in there. Yeah. So. Yeah, so when it comes to Hiscaria, Stamaria, or any of the Nixian Commonwealth members, those are the only nations that we associate with, as of right now. Yeah, we hope to be trade partners with all of them and figure out where we go from there. So, when it comes to silver, though, I did bring up that in the Nixian Commonwealth, if the Nixian Commonwealth members would like to adopt the Nixian drachma instead of their own currencies that might be fiat, and not backed by anything, I'm trying to help them now gradually turn into a either representative currency, a currency that's backed by a precious metal, or precious metal entirely. So, and I'm introducing both. I'm introducing both the Nixian drachma, which is aluminum bronze, and then that will be a trade agreement there, right? As well as circulation between the nations. But there's also silver that will definitely prefer them, and gold as well, but silver preferably because it's cheaper and easier to acquire. So, um, we're helping them out, gradually doing that. So yeah, so we're hoping that we'll become trade partners with the Nixon Commonwealth members, Stamaria and Hiscaria. So yeah, let's see what else. Yep, setting up a meeting with the Commonwealth members, maybe about that topic I just said, right? Fixing our treasury crisis. Yes, let me tell you about that one. That one's actually very important. So it turns out all those years of us having a treasury box, which is in my possession, it's currently right over there. I'm looking at it. So that is the Knicks money. I don't touch it. Nobody touches it except for the Queen. The Queen has a legitimate authority to touch it. And yes, the Nixian people are aware that she does borrow money from the Nixian treasury. It is called the Royal Loan Account, and what that is basically the royalty is borrowing money from the Nixian treasury to help her out. Therefore, helping her out will help the Queendom out. So, transparency there, but that is what it is. The Royal Loan Account, right? That is actually what it's categorized as. So, but you can actually find that information on. I'm pretty sure you can because I think I wrote this down too. Yeah, I did. It's on the website. So yeah. So if you want to know the amount that she borrowed, that she now owes to the Nixian Treasury, you just go up on our website and look it up. But that's not where we're getting to. The treasury crisis. That's not the treasury crisis. The treasury crisis is what I counted in those years of having that treasury box was not what I counted. Yes, I believe my autism or lack of awareness, one of the two, has made it to where I overcounted how much money we had. Not undercounted, overcounted. So I overcounted how much money we had. That's not good. That's worse than undercounting. So, because when the Queen came to me to add on to the Royal Loan Account for her nursing school, that way she can get a better job, better nursing job, right? Nursing school, better nursing job, more money, and more money she plans on putting into Nix. So, what she's doing is helping Nix out. And she actually graduates this year, so hopefully she'll get that new job this year. And then big money to help her and her family out, but at the same time, she's putting money back into Nix, and then we're good to go, right? So there you go. That's the reason why. But that's not that's not the treasury crisis. The treasury crisis is I overcounted how much we had. So when the Queen came to me to borrow some more money for the nursing school, which is authorized by the people are aware of it. The people are aware that she does this, okay? Because we even had to do that for one of her dogs that was hit by a car. So that was a while ago, but she was hit by a car. She's fine. It wasn't too bad of a damage. Tail got fractured, but the vet bills are stupid. So what is it? So obviously, and that one actually counted as. That one actually counted as government spending because the people were behind it, and if the people were behind it, therefore I'm behind it. Therefore, yes, Queen, we'll use that money to help the dog. So that it was perfectly fine, and whatever money that we owe back to the treasury of the spending, that's how much we owe. So that did not count as the Royal Loan Account. So we helped her dog out, but that was a lot of money, somewhere around like $700 odd. Yeah, I know. So it was a lot. But back to the overcounting. So, yes, overcounting. So she was counting the money of what we had at this time, and it was not that long ago. It was like last year in September, October, November, December, somewhere in those months. Or it might have been in January. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Oh, yeah, that might have been in January, actually. That was actually quite recent. Never mind. That was actually quite recent. Yeah, that was in January now. I'm just now thinking about it. It's in January. Okay. Yeah, so she was counting the money. She was helping me count the money, right? Because, yeah. So she was counting the money, and she asked me, out of nowhere, she just asked me, why is it so low? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, there's only this much amount in here. And I'm not afraid to tell you how much. $460, right? If it's like 460, Austin, there must be more than that. It's like, you should be right. Because when I looked at the graph, because I have a graph, a line graph, a pie graph for both to tell me the amount of all the times we count, that I counted the money of the amount we should have in that box. A box filled with cash. So, and yeah, no, there was a lot less than we thought there was. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, it's the Royal Loan account. I mean, we just looked at the website. She borrowed this and this, right? It's like, yes, but you also got to look at our government spending at the same time, too. The government spending is more than she borrowed. So that's another part there, right? So there's that. And so we're trying to figure out, and I even added the two and two together, right? Because we didn't really do that much government spending for a long time, actually. Because here's why. The budget app that I mentioned. I've been putting my own donation into the budget app. The budget app that I use has like goals. Yeah, if you heard of this thing before, you probably know what app I'm talking about. But so it has goals, budget goals, right? So I have like separate savings accounts, right? So what it does, it builds up the money to said goals to finish a project. The farming project that I mentioned, $250 went to it, but it's $250 of my personal money, not the treasury. But it's meant for Nix. So it's what did it call it? What did the graph call it? Oh dear Lord, hold on. What did the graph call it? The graph called it, okay, hold on, because if I back out of this, it's going to pop up an ad, and I don't want that. Turn that off. There we go. Oh, what did it call it? It called it okay, asset allocations. Okay, that's what it called it. Asset allocations. What does that mean, Austin? It means an asset allocation is how much money we're putting towards separate projects for the Queen of the Nix. So, for example, and I'll go ahead and tell you this now. As of right now, as of March 2026, currently, there is $854 in the treasury, so not too bad. But we had to cancel an asset allocation towards copper for us to get back up and running, because she went ahead and borrowed the money, knowing that it was low, and I told her it was fine. We're the only two that authorizes the money transaction, okay? So I told her it was fine, go ahead, but then she came to talk to me, and we talked, and we're like, the money shouldn't be this low, and yeah, you're right, because the graph, so here's the thing, I'm going to tell you this right now. As of October 2025, okay, as of October 2025, the money was counted at 1,616. And then when she counted the money okay, here we go. This is okay. No, it wasn't in January. It was this date. It was November. Okay, it was November. Okay, I'm looking at my graph now. Yeah, so on October it was 1616, right? $1,616. She counted in November of last year. She counted to only 460. That means there was never 1616 in the treasury box. I overcounted by over $1,200. If not higher. That's a big overcount. That's almost as bad as inflation. So, like I said, when she discovered that, obviously Christmas was coming up, New Year's, and it wasn't until February. Um, well, hold on. No, I think I'm thinking of this wrong. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm thinking. I gotta think for a second. No. Okay, no, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. What I said was correct, though. What I said was correct. 1616, that was the money that was in there. 460 is what we had when she counted it. But the date was off. The date was off because I overcounted. Right, I wanted to correct the graph, but she told me not to worry about it. So that's where the November December part came from. So I read that wrong. Sorry. No, it was in January that we discovered it. It was in January that we discovered the crisis. So, and I was trying to correct it, but she told me not to worry about it. But I already corrected 2 dates, right? So, but when she stopped me, so because I was correcting it on the spot, trying to like, oh my god, because I'm panicking a little, right? So, yeah, no, in January is when we discovered it, and it was in February the next month that we canceled the copper asset allocation money going towards buying copper to make more drachma coins, right? Which was around $425. So $425 was taken out of that asset and was put back into the Nick's treasury physically. So that's how there's now $854 in the treasury, and that helps us out too because that helps us stay stable. Um, and well, because of the treasury crisis, land acquisition priority has been shifted to as the second priority instead of the first. First priority is to get the money for said land allocation. So, or land acquisition, sorry. So, um, so now we're prioritizing, and I mean, obviously, we're still functioning as a nation, obviously, right? We're still doing our usual things, but when it comes to assets and money, we plan on putting money towards buying more silver, whether it's in small amounts or big amounts. We plan on buying more silver, and we plan to use said silver. We'll have silver set aside as for both backing and or medium of exchange within the queendom, and we will have silver for the sake of cashing it in towards land acquisition. So, thankfully, we found a local silver dealer that can do that for us. So that is amazing. And whether they ask for a fee or if they try to devalue it in some way, if they see something off or something, we're just going to take it as it goes. Okay, we're not going to be irritated about it, but we know silver is a lot of money, so I'm sure they will give us a lot of money still that will go towards the Nixie Treasury anyway. So that is currently the goal right now. That's the priority, is to slowly, gradually buy silver, wait a bit, then sell it to a dealer, get the cash, put it in the treasury box, and then the second priority is land acquisition that we want to do this year, but we don't know if it's going to happen this year now. It might happen next year, but that's the hope. That's the hope and goal for this year's land acquisition. Land acquisition has been our goal every single year since we've been founded. So, but we made sure that it wasn't a obsessive priority, right? If that makes any sense, we're making sure that it's not an obsessive priority. Where we're obsessive trying to find land and try to claim it and all that, right? No, there's other stuff we got to do. There's land that we have now that people are willing to let us use to utilize the Queen of the Nix and everything, right? So we take advantage of that and we're good. So, but yes, as of right now, there is $854 in the treasury. The government spending or debt is currently at $1,397. The Royal Loan account is at $1,290. And the current asset allocations is $4,025. Remember, asset allocation, that's just the total of the money being used towards each project for Nyx. Farming, here we go. Farming, copper, silver, Queen of Nyx in general. Oh, actually, the Queen of Nyx in general one is actually turned into land acquisition. So there is money going towards officially, strictly towards land acquisition now. So there's that. So land acquisition. And I think that's it, Queen of Nyx wise. Yes. So silver, copper, land acquisition, and farming. And farming just got done recently. I just haven't planned it out yet, but we're getting that planned out very soon. So, so a lot of very interesting transparency today. Yeah. So, if you can hear that, ignore it. That's my watch that never shuts up. It'll shut up in a minute. So yeah. So there you go. Hopefully that transparency will show you how honest we are about our shortcomings or accidental, unintentional wrongdoings. So hopefully you won't see us in a bad way, but we're trying our best, y'all. Trying our best. So, and we don't want to look bad. We don't want to look bad at all. So, but I'm hoping this progress report is a optimistic one. Okay, everything's good. I gave you all good news, and the Treasury crisis was the only bad news. So, other than that, that's really it. Treasury crisis was the only bad news. And I guess if you count the trade issue that we have with Begley, you could consider that a bad news as well. But other than that, I gave you all the good news that we did and what we plan to do. So, hopefully you find that appealing. Yep, and push towards land acquisition. And that's it. That is the progress report of 2025 officially. And that is the goals of what we're going to do for the year of 2026. And the next video will be Wednesday, not tomorrow, even though the announcement of the conclusion of the triarchy debate tomorrow will be tomorrow. I will not post a video about it. I will post a video about it on Wednesday because we have to go through the domestic things about it first. So, because we're going to see the people's opinions of what the Queen has decided. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed our very late progress report, but very optimistic and very real. Very real. Okay. We have our struggles, we have our issues, and the Treasury is perfectly fine. It's growing. That's all that matters to us. The Treasury is regrowing. The asset allocations is helping the Treasury out, as well as the projects we have for Nyx. So, we are okay. It's okay. So, we're not going anywhere. Even if we have $0, we're not going anywhere. Okay? If it makes you feel better, that Treasury box is not the only thing funding the nation. We got the founders too. And I actually made a pie graph on the website. You should go check it out. I updated the National Treasury page on the website. I added the pie graph that has a percentage on how much money is put into the Treasury per method. And I have it on the graph here. I won't show it to you, but I have it on the graph here. You can find it on the website. Here we go. So, for example, without showing you, 75.4% of the money going towards the Treasury was from the founders' pockets, as I've written. So, the founders, which is me, Chelsea, and Queen Breckenridge. Or Liddell. But we preferred her as Queen Breckenridge. So, yep, 75.4%. Which in total is $2,687. That's not in the Treasury right now. You're right. That's how much that was in the Treasury. So, or like, that's the combination of the money currently in the treasury, plus the Royal Loan account, plus how much money we spend. So those three together, add them up together, that's how much money was put into Nix. Okay? So, and 2,687 of said dollars were from my pocket, Liddell's pocket, and Chelsea's pocket. So, what about the other ones? Glad you asked. The second highest of our Nixian Treasury revenue by method is income tax, voluntary income tax. We do have Nixian taxpayers that voluntarily signed a 1-year contract to pay income tax, where we analyzed each paycheck per month, as in, like, if you get paid 4 times a week, right? So depending on what job you have, you get paid 8 times a week, or a month. Yeah, 4 to 8 times a month, something like that, right? So, well, hold on. No, if there's 4 weeks in a month, right? Yeah, there's approximately 4 weeks in a month, so you get paid 4 weeks in a month. So you get paid 4 times in a month. Okay, yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, so you get paid 4 times in a month, right? So we analyzed the 4 paychecks per month, or per tax month, as we made. Depending on when you signed the contract, right? Like, if you signed it on September 1st, then the tax payday will be October 1st. The other payday will be November 1st. Does that make sense? So, what else? Yeah. So anyway, that income tax is 22.7% of our revenue into the Nixian Treasury. So, in total of money, it is $809. So, we made $809 from income tax alone. And if you want to know our third thingy, our third one, the Nixian market. What's the Nixian market? I thought you don't have a marketplace. You're correct. However, that does not stop us from selling goods to our own citizens. So, one of our citizens has ordered a flag, and the flag costs $25. So, it's any size, any color. Well, not any color, but any size. Whether it's a state flag, this is the state flag, not U.S. state flag, as in government. So, state flag, or the citizenry flag that you can find on our website at the flag and coat of arms page. So, and if I'm correct, the citizen ordered a state flag. So, they're going to get the state flag, and it costs $25 for either one. So, $25, it goes to them, and yeah, so that was our only Nixian marketplace purchase. People have ordered shirts before, but we haven't gotten around to making a bunch of shirts yet. So, yeah. So, but we plan on doing those too. Because people want to help spread awareness, show us off and whatnot, to help our community out and whatnot. So, yeah. So, yeah. So Nixian Marketplace, and that's 0.7%. 0.7% of our treasury was funded by the marketplace, and there's another 0.7% that will thankfully announce to the Emperor of Ascaria, who has personally invested into the Queen of Nix. 25. Was it? Is it $25? Am I right on that? It is too. Okay. So yes, Ascaria has invested $25 into the Queen of Nix. We are very thankful, Emperor Vincent Paul of Ascaria, for your helpful and beneficial investment, and we will definitely let you know where this money is going towards. And we will definitely let you know if any progress has been made. Hopefully you watch this video and you'll see the progress that are being made. So, yeah. So, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all. That's progress report. I gave you the Nixian Treasury to fix that Treasury crisis issue, so you all can understand how we fund our stuff, and how we make money, or where the money's stored, and how much of each method is paying into the money. It was going to be a separate video. I might make a separate video anyway to give a better understanding strictly on that topic. But I just want to go ahead and give you that progress report now, because I do want to report about the Treasury crisis to let y'all know what's been happening, right? So, because it is a progress report, so it's part of the progress. But progress doesn't mean, going forward without obstacles. We hit an obstacle, and that obstacle was accounting error, and the accounting error put us back by a lot. So, yeah. So we had a lot less money than we thought we did. So, but other than that, we are okay. The Treasury's fine. The Queen is fine. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. The Nixian people are fine. We are still rocking and rolling. I'm very optimistic this year. I actually said that this year will actually be a very good financial year for us. I said it when the year was coming. I say it now when the year is here. I say it's going to be a very good financial year for us, and I'm hoping it will continue to do so. So, I'm very optimistic about the Treasury coming back up and running. Okay, so, and of course, I have my own financial contributions as well that I'm putting into Nix to help out the cause. So, yeah, the app that I use has been very helpful. So, yeah. So, hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry that I ranted a little bit. I'm hoping it was educational, informative, and it lets you know about our struggles and what we're doing as a nation and as a community that wants to be a very serious sovereign nation. So, yeah. So, prepare for Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Alright, that's about it. If you want to know how to become a citizen of the Queen of Nix, check us out at www.queenofnix.com. To find out more on that, there's a contact us at citizen. There's either a citizenship page or a contact us page. I think it's on the contact us page or the citizenship page. It's one or the other. You'll find it. You'll find the citizenship application, and you'll look at it. You'll read it for yourself. Please make sure you read it. And here's the thing: if you're going to become a citizen, because I noticed this in some people that I'm going to talk to, if you're going to be a citizen of the Queen of Nix, we want valid information on the application. Okay? If you don't give us valid information, you will not be accepted. I'm letting you know this now. If you do not put valid information that the citizenship application requires on the paper, you will be rejected. That is not to my discretion. That is to the Queen's discretion. So, but I'm letting you know that now. That is what the Queen is telling everyone. We welcome everybody. But if you don't put valid information on your citizenship application, then you will be rejected. If you put valid information on your citizenship application, we look into it. We will let you know if you're approved to be a citizen, and we will go from there on how you could be committed in helping us. Because that's another thing too that will keep you as a citizen, is your commitment. Okay? If you're going to be a citizen, you have to be committed. I'm not saying you have to help us every single day. I'm saying find time for us. You're joining a serious community that's actually trying to build something new, extravagant, and amazing that everybody can enjoy. And if you want to be part of that, you have to commit yourself to make that happen. So, that's what I wanted to tell you about that. So, yeah. So if you want to become a citizen, simply go on our website, look for the citizenship application, sign in. We'll look into it. We'll help you. We'll figure out your situation, let you know what province you're in if you're a homeowner. If you're a renter, we'll figure out how to work with that, go around that. So, yeah. So, that's it. Look up our website. Check us out on Facebook. We're everywhere. Twitter and Facebook, mostly. Yep, website. YouTube, of course. And the Queen of Nix channel. Also look us up at Nix Delta Broadcast. I know Nix Delta Broadcast has been posting, but our Countess has also going through personal things as well. She's trying her best. So, but we'll see what happens. I'll let her know to see if she can get back up to Nick Celtic broadcast. But she's going through things right now, so she hasn't been on Nick Celtic broadcast for a minute. Okay, so give her time. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful night. Have a good day. Happy New Year in March 2026. I will see you all very soon.
In the darkest of nights, in the darkest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is a national just we fight for freedom and justice. Rise, freedom of this. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. Rise, freedom of this. United we stand, divided we fall. In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is a match and just we fight for freedom and justice. Rise, freedom of this. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. Rise, freedom of this. United we stand, divided we fall. In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is a national just we fight for freedom and justice. Rise, freedom of this. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. In the dark